Hi everyone, welcome to Moonbeam's Messages. This is a collective reading today that is for Sun, Moon and Risings. If it doesn't resonate with yourself, then please take what resonates with you and leave the rest for someone else. I hope you like your messages today. If you do, please like and subscribe to the channel and you'll get updates every time that I put new content on the channel. Okay, let's get into the reading. Hi everyone, this is a self-reflection reading for the sign of Libra. Now the idea behind a self-reflection reading is everybody needs some inner healing sometimes, and sometimes we get a bit stuck on what we might need to work on. So the idea behind self-reflection reading is for Spirit to give some guidance on what they feel that the collective of Libra might need to look at within themselves. Now, like I say, it is a collective reading, so not everything will resonate with everybody. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If nothing resonates for yourself, please check your other placements. You might find a message in there. Now, just before we get into it, I have been gifted this wand. So just looking for feedback on what people might think of it. We've got rose quartz on either end. It's got some amethyst and some onyx in it. Wooden stem, and then wrapped with twine. So if you can pop us a comment and let me know what you think of that gift, that would be lovely. Right, so let's get into it then. So Spirit, please can you give us some cards for the self-reflection journey of Libra and for what you feel they may need to be doing some inner reflecting on. Spirit, please give us some cards for Libra. Okay, so on the bottom of the deck, we've got the Justice card in the reverse, okay, which is suggesting that potentially you might be feeling like things could be a little bit out of balance. Maybe you are waiting for something to have a decision made on it. Maybe you feel like you might not be able to make a decision at the moment. It could be that you're feeling that truth might be being obscured from you. Or maybe it could be that you might even be getting over some sort of legal decision that didn't go your way, potentially. But yeah, it is suggesting that as well you might be looking at things from a fixed viewpoint and you're not being very flexible with what you are thinking or decisions that you're making. Now, how you're currently talking to yourself is we've got this Eight of Cups. So you're currently telling yourself that you're either happy in a situation that you're in, or it's like you're abandoning, moving forward. And you kind of, it's like you're telling yourself that you're happy, but you're not happy. It's, how do I put it? It's like you're settling, okay? You think that you'll be happy to just settle. It's like you're not going forward seeking what you actually know will make you happy anymore. You're just kind of giving up, and it's like you're settling for whatever you've got, thinking that, nothing out there can make you happier, kind of thing, that you might as well just stick with what you've got. Let's get some clarification on this, please, Spirit. Let's clarify this Eight of Cups. Spirit, please clarify this Eight of Cups for us. Okay, so again, we've got that Justice card in the reverse appearing. We've got the King of Swords and we've got the Five of Cups. The King of Swords there is in the reverse, okay? So that King of Swords then is suggesting that you're not able to really grasp the truth, potentially. You might be being super critical of either yourself or other people. I'm assuming of yourself, potentially, if you're looking at things as, you can't get any better, you're stuck in whatever situation you're in, you're happy to settle for it. So it's like you either that, or you're critical and thinking that nobody can be any better than what you might already have. Now the cups I mean, it does potentially suggest that, I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a person, but it's usually like some sort of emotional bond or ties that you've got. But it's very likely that you're telling yourself this because it's like you're not telling yourself the truth as such. You know that you're going to feel some guilt or resentment, or not resentment, sorry, guilt or regret, if you move forward from it. And it's like you're not seeing the truth of the situation behind it. It's like you're telling yourself that you're going to be that what you've got is all you deserve, kind of thing. And if you move on from it, you're going to feel guilty, and it's like you're sacrificing yourself and sticking with disappointment, even though it might make you really sad. I mean, not everything is lost. I mean, you've got 2 cups behind you with the 5 of cups. So, there is potential there that things can still be, if it is a relationship, can be rekindled. This could be something where you might be feeling stuck at a workplace as well. So, there is a potential that you could reignite some passion for work. But it does look as though you might be potentially not telling yourself the truth, or you can't see something that's going on at the moment, and you just feel like things are not really very fair or balanced, or you're telling yourself that. But you are doing a lot of, like I say, either negative thinking about yourself or others, at least, with that King of Swords being in the reverse there. It's like you're doing some serious potential self-reproach on there. So what is it that you are currently hiding from yourself out of shame or fear? So we've got the Page of Pentacles. And then that Page of Pentacles is being clarified by the Nine of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles in the World card. So your Page of Pentacles then is you are hiding from yourself a potential new beginning. Maybe you are ashamed or fearful of a new beginning, potentially. I mean, that Page of Pentacles is usually somebody, it could even be an apprenticeship, it's like learning something from this beginning. And it's like maybe a new job. Maybe you're fearful of getting a new job, but you want one. Or maybe you need to do some learning potentially for a new job, and you might be fearful that it might take too long, or that you might as well just stick with what you've got. But it is, it's somebody that is, a very keen learner. So that is suggesting that you want to potentially, maybe that you're fearing starting something from the beginning. Now, this could be because of this Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is somebody that's very abundant, very secure. They also spend a lot of time on their own, potentially. And then we've got this Queen of Pentacles, again, somebody that is very generous, very giving, somebody that likes to look after themselves. And then we've got this World card in the reverse, which is suggesting that potentially you don't want something to come to an end. So maybe it could be that you're fearing starting something new because you might not be quite so well off, and maybe you're scared of things coming to an end. It could also be that you might be feeling a bit of like an outsider, so maybe you've got a bit of imposter syndrome if this is in the workplace, potentially. Maybe that you feel like you can't start something new because as much as you want to be successful and be abundant and be these women that are not necessarily women, but I mean, yes, they're women in the cards, but what I mean is it's personality traits, not so much gender with the tarot. It might be that you're scared of starting something new because you either want to have this, but you're scared of feeling like an outsider if you get it. Maybe you feel like you don't have enough knowledge to do it. So whether that is, like I say, a new job potentially because of all the pentacles, whether you're going for a job where, the queen is a boss, let's face it. She's the equal of the king. She gives orders, but she's very generous with things. So whether you are going for a new job that might potentially be a step up to where you are, maybe you're feeling out of place, like you don't deserve it potentially. Maybe you're fearful that you will feel like that. Maybe you are fearful that there will be a delay in you achieving your goals. Maybe it's something where you want to transition from being this 9 of Pentacles to this Queen of Pentacles, potentially. So you want to go from being single to being in a relationship and staying abundant, but you're scared of, starting something new because you're worried that you're going to end up with delays in getting what you want potentially, and that you're scared that it means all the hard work you've put into yourself might just fall to the side. That's what I'm getting from this. It could even be that you're ashamed of having to restart something because you've been so successful in the past potentially, so you don't want it to end. You don't want the old cycle to end because you're ashamed of having to start from the beginning. Let's get some. So what you've currently got to heal from a situation. So we've got this 6 of Swords. Now that is currently, is that the 6? No, I'm lying to you. That's the 4 of Swords. It's because it's in reverse. I need a nap. Now you've got a couple of 4s out on the table. Yeah, you've got the Emperor, who's a 4, and you've got this 4 of Swords. We've also got some 5s. 5 of Cups and the Hierophant so far. It might be worth checking out any reoccurring numbers. Oh yeah, 9s as well. No, it's 11 with the Justice card. Check out your reoccurring numbers. It might be that if you keep seeing them, then it's likely that your angel guides have got some messages for you, and that it's to tell you that you're on the right track. Now, it could just also be that they're numbers that are significant for you. Yeah, let's have a look. Let's clarify this 4 of Swords in the reverse. So the 4 of Swords itself is suggesting that at the moment you need to take some time alone to do some inner healing work. That maybe you need some quiet solitude, some rest, recuperation. It's not time to potentially act because you can't currently trust what it is that you're thinking. So again, that could be down to this, because you think that that being stuck in the past might be good for you, but then it makes you feel regret and sorrow. So maybe you need to take some time to yourself. Not necessarily time to yourself, but you just need some time for rest and recuperation. It could be that you might need to take time to yourself in order to do that, depending on your lifestyle. Okay, so we've got a lot of, just checking the underneath. Yeah, they're definitely not all in reverse in the deck. So with that 4 of Swords, we've got the Queen of Swords in the reverse, the 9 of Wands, and the 2 of Cups all in the reverse there as well. So it is suggesting that what you might need to heal from, so you're not able to express yourself particularly clearly. Again, jumbled thoughts. You're not able to trust your thoughts. Your thoughts are all over the place, potentially. This is suggesting for that 9 of Wands that you may need to stay open to new ideas, be fearless about your future, pull down some barriers potentially. You might be stuck with jumbled thoughts because you've got your guard up for a lot of things. And it's suggesting that you might need to shift your focus and look at something new. Now, the Two of Cups in reverse is suggesting, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a failed union. It is the Two of Cups when it's in the upright is normally like a happy union potentially. It does suggest though that you could have some sort of disagreement. So maybe that is what you're feeling all scattered about. You might be feeling a bit alone in a particular relationship that you might be in. But it's suggesting that you focus on the future, change perspective on what you're looking at potentially, in order to move forward with regards to that. It could very well be that there might be some misunderstandings as well, that you might need to reflect on. And that could be why you need to bring your guard down as well, because it could very well be that if you are in a relationship and you've had some sort of disagreement, it could very well be because you've got your guard up. Maybe you've got particularly high standards about something and you're not opening up very much, and it's not going particularly well because of that. Again, that could be why you might be feeling alone, because your guard's up so high. So in order to bring that guard down, and make yourself more open to communication, and that's potentially why you need to do some healing. Now, when I say about bringing your guard down, normally the Nine of Wands, there's only one person there standing guarding things, but there's two of them on this, so it's like opening up to somebody else, potentially bringing that guard down, letting someone else in. Okay, that's what it was suggesting, because you have got disagreements. You might be feeling alone. Somebody else might be feeling alone if it's a relationship. It could even be, like I say, it could be to do with a work placement. Maybe this is a partner at work, and because you've got your guard up with regards to work itself, it might be that you're feeling that you're shouldering all the burden. You've got your guard up that high that you're keeping out your work partner, so things can't be, you're not collaborating things very well. Your thoughts are all over the place because you don't know how to proceed potentially, but all you need to do is open yourself up a little bit, let your guard down, let the person in. Now, what you need to let go of is, we've got this Hierophant. The Hierophant is like conformity as such. It can also be like a religion. Maybe you need to release some sort of tradition, some sort of religion that you might have grown up with. It could also be that you've got a particular belief system that you've learnt to believe. Maybe that it could very well be that this belief system is about about money, about abundance, and you need to release that. It could, like I'm saying down here, with your how you're stuck, what you're thinking about all the time, stuck, that you're just being satisfied with an old situation that you're in. It could again potentially be that you need to get out of that belief that it's never going to get any better, that it's not going to, that you're stuck with it and it's not going to be any, you're not going to get any better, because sometimes you think that and you get stuck thinking that. So it could just be that you need to release that belief system that you've got. Now, it could also be that you might have a mentor potentially that you've grown out of the need for. So it might be that you currently, you might be relying on them heavily and you just need to release them and move forward, doing things with a potential, like I say, a partner instead of a mentor. But yeah, it could be any of those. Now, that is being clarified by the Four of Cups, the Sun card, and the Ten of Wands in reverse. Now, that Four of Cups is suggesting that you have made a decision. Okay, so you need to embrace or release indecisiveness, release the impatience that you may have had, or the boredom that you may have had. Potentially realizing what is actually good for you in life as well, and being present in, or be present in the present moment. Now the Sun card, I mean, that is happiness, but we don't want you to release happiness, let's face it. But what you might need to release is the fact that if you have trust issues, potentially, you need to release those. You know, you need to release the need for exuberance, potentially. And also, if it's something where you're driven by success, you might need to release that, or not necessarily release it, but let go of the need to be successful all the time. It could very well be that you need to let go of, you know, the feeling of happiness or wanting happiness all the time. Not everyone can be happy all of the time. You know, even those of us that are happy a lot, we still have ups and downs. You know, even the most enlightened people will have things that might make them feel a little bit unhappy every now and then. It's just how you deal with it. So it's learning to let go of what's causing you to be in certain mindsets as such. Now you do have this 10 of Wands as well. So that is suggesting that you need to release a burden. Let go of a situation that is dragging on, you know, and starting to take things a bit easier with yourself. Letting go of burdens. It's something that, you know, the situation that may have been dragging on for quite some time, you need to let go of it. I mean, it could very well be that you're telling yourself that you're happy in this. Again, like I say, you know, down here, you're telling yourself that you are happy being in a situation that might not necessarily serve you. So it's letting go of that as such. So this whole illusion of happiness, I should say, is something that you need to let go of. What you do need to embrace is the Emperor. Now, the Emperor is the boss of the deck. Just as much as the Empress is, but the Emperor is somebody that he's the king of the kings. It is like embracing a boss mindset. It could also be a person in your life. But yeah, so he is somebody that he knows what he wants. He knows how to get it. He is, you know, responsible. You know, somebody that's got good boundaries. Doesn't necessarily have really high boundaries, but he's got appropriate boundaries. They're very responsible, they're powerful, they're, you know, full of, they're a good leader. You know, they've got a lot of father energy as well, as we say. Now, with embracing that, you also need to embrace a bit of a Tower. Now that's not a bad thing. This Tower is in reverse, so it does suggest that it could be something that you've already, it's going to be a small tower potentially, or it's something that's already happened and it's rebuilding from the ground up. So something that that could very well be this, what you need to let go of. This might be a Tower moment where what you let go could cause things to fall to the ground, not necessarily ruin you as such, but you know how here we've got the Page of Pentacles, the fear of potentially restarting. So the Tower, when it's in the upright, is you having, it's like a moment where everything feels devastating. It doesn't have to be devastating, but it's like things in your life completely change. So it's like it's a dramatic change. It can be a relationship ending, and you know, houses, you know, you've got no foundation anymore, you've got no home, you've got no relationship, you've got no family. Again, if it's a work situation, it could be work coming to an end. When it's in the reverse, it is suggesting that it might have fallen down, but you've still got some foundations there to build from. So you've got something, you know, at the underneath in the foundations there that you can start rebuilding upon. So that is suggesting that, you know, you have got you know, if you have found that, you can rebuild yourself in a better way, because once you've had that tower moment, you rebuild stronger. And it's suggesting that, you know, you've got that rebuilding. You'll rebuild and restore any self-confidence that you've had, potentially averting massive disasters as well, because it's one that's in reverse. Now you do also have the Nine of Swords, so that is, I mean, the Nine of Swords is like nightmare thinking, you know, a bit of despair and concern, and it can be self-inflicted cruelty. Now, when we say embrace it, I'm going to suggest that this is more of the concern, potentially, that you need to embrace, because a lot of the time when you do need to, when you're rebuilding things, and you know, when you are starting things new, or if you're just going through, you know, you need to have an air of concernment about things. You need to, you know, potentially do some disaster mitigation, especially if you're doing, you know, like if it's a new business, for instance, or, you know, you're in a partnership, you know, you kind of need to have an air of, you know, discernment with regards to it, or a bit of concern about the other person, or, do you know what I mean? It's not all, you can't, it's like, in a business world, you'd call it like a disaster recovery plan, potentially. But it's like having concern not just for yourself, but for other people. Because that's what the Emperor does. He looks after everyone. Now, yes, this could mean that you might have a bit of, you know, sleepless nights here and there because of it. But if it's something where you're going to be embracing, you know, a certain aspect, then it's like suggesting you need to do that in order to rebuild your tower. In order to become that emperor, you need to go through this. You need to kind of embrace some sort of fears, nightmares, in order to rebuild your foundations, because that's where you learn from. You know, don't get stuck in that despair. By all means, if you do, then I would suggest seeking some professional help if you start feeling, you know, extremely depressed and everything else. I mean, we've got an Empress in reverse as well here, who is somebody that's feeling a little bit overwhelmed and disconnected. So this is all suggesting, you know, that if you are feeling disconnected, and you're feeling guilt or bewilderment, you know, it's not the end of everything. You can rebuild, and you can have that Emperor. At the end of the day, you're in charge of rebuilding yourself. So if this is something where you're having to completely reconstruct your thought process of what it is you want, or how you're doing things, you know, if you're having to completely change part of yourself or part of your core beliefs, you're in charge of it. Okay, so yes, you might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed at times. You might have nightmares, but you get to rebuild it how you want. That's what this Emperor does. The Tower's there to say, yes, it can be rebuilt. Not everything is as bad as it seems. You've still got foundations there you can build from, and that Emperor is the person that is in charge and drives it. Okay, he's the person that gives people orders and tells them what to do and how to build it. You're in the control seat, so you need to embrace that control. You need to embrace that, and you need to realize that, you know, you're giving yourself nightmares. This can also be self-inflicted cruelty, so it's embracing the fact that you're doing that to yourself. So if you are having nightmares and you are being cruel to yourself, you know, that is you that's doing that. No one can stop that other than you. That Emperor is giving you control over that. Okay, same with your Empress in the reverse, feeling a little bit overwhelmed. You know, the only way that you can feel overwhelmed is you need to take control. Even if it's, you know, planning step by step, little by little, you need to be doing that yourself. It is, getting out of your comfort zone as such. You might be feeling a lack of prosperity. Again, if this is a new start, you know, that you're fearing, or if it's something where you're used to having a lot of money, be used to being prosperous, you know, it's getting out of that feeling of a lack of prosperity and appreciating what you do have, and being a boss about what it is you want to do, and rebuilding from that. Okay. Now I'm also going to get you some, or an angel of light card, to see if there's any other messages that spirit want to convey to you, Libra. Okay, Spirit, can we get an angel of light card, please, for Libra? Spirit, please give us an angel of light card. Okay, so we've got acceptance. Acceptance means unconditional love. The angels remind you to accept everyone exactly as they are, without judging, blaming, or wanting to change them. When you are totally accepting, you bear no malice or enmity towards anyone or anything. That includes accepting yourself. Harmlessness through acceptance is a high state of being, and this is a difficult quality for humans to embrace, for it is a divine quality. Nevertheless, the angels are drawing it to your attention now. You are also asked to accept yourself. When you truly do so, you feel centered and confident, and your divine self is revealed. Your affirmation is, I accept myself and others. So accepting what you want and accepting yourself, accepting that you are in charge of your own life, with that Emperor, you know, accepting that you control everything within your own remit, your own scope. Yes, you can't control others, but you can control yourself, you know, accepting who you are and what you want, and how you are. That is what the message is for you today, Libra. Okay. So I hope that has helped some of you out there with your current self-reflection journey. But yeah, good luck, and thank you for joining me.